are listening to the Nat Turner Library Radio Network. If you are offended by black people discussing our suffering, black people discussing our struggle, and black people talking about solutions to our problems, then this show is not for you. You have been warned. Nat Turner Library Radio.
Brothers and sisters, welcome to the latest episode of the Nat Turner Library Radio Show. Tonight's show, Race War in America. Race War in America. Lynchings in 2019. What are the problems? What are the solutions? And are you tired of this mess? You are listening, brothers and sisters, to the Nat Turner Library Radio Show. Your host, Brother Michael Muhammad, author, producer, radio show host. But mainly, my base title I'd like to say as I'm just your brother. Brothers and sisters, and those who are listening for the first time, the Nat Turner Library Radio Show is here once again with a hard subject to deal with. On today's date, March 13th, 2019, we have a special report from our sister, Jani Cook. She is the assistant to the National Chief of Staff for the new Black Panther Party. She's a program director of the Black Justice Initiative in Washington, D.C. Excuse me. She's the media manager for the Waker Foundation of Waker CD, LLC. And our sister is a radio personality, but she is a sister queen, a sister who my wife and I had an opportunity to meet at the tribute to the memorial for the life and the remembrance of the Honorable Dr. Khalid this past January here in Atlanta. It's a sister who has her own show. She's a sister who's the host for Bosslady radio program, right, also on Blog Talk, and we'll talk about that as well. But brothers and sisters, as I said earlier, I am your host, Brother Michael Muhammad. And tonight's show is dealing with race war in America. And what we're going to do, brothers and sisters, is we're going to get you familiar with the Nat Turner Library Radio Show. But before I do that, I'd like to first say that I bear witness there is no God but Allah, who did appear to us in the person of a well-made man. And that person I speak of is none other than Master Wali Fard Muhammad, who came 9,000 miles by himself to teach us what had been lost for 66 trillion years, and that is the knowledge of ourselves as black people and knowledge of our enemy. And brothers and sisters, what I'd like to also say is I further bear witness that he taught the first begotten of the dead here in the wilderness of North America, which I speak none other than the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, who I bear witness is the exalted Christ that we've been looking for so long. And also, brothers and sisters, I'd like to further bear witness in his divine reminder of those two in our midst, the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, who I bear witness is the respective body of that Jesus that we've been looking for, the Savior for the black man and woman and ultimately the whole world. I speak none other than the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan. In their names, I greet you all. To the Nat Turner family, in the words of peace and paradise, I say Assalamu alaikum. That simply means may peace be unto you all, speaking into the ancient black language of Arabic. And for those who speak Hebrew, we say Shalom, Hotep, to the brothers and sisters from the Comedic Science family. Praise the Lord to my good Christian family here in the wilderness of North America. To the Nawapians family, we say Rahubat, to simply means peace be with you in the Anunnaki ancient black language. Black Power to Attorney Malik Zulu Shabazz, Emeritus Chairman of the new Black Panther Party. We say Black Power Fist out to Chairman Hashim Nzinga, and to Chief of Staff, Brother Imam Akbar, and Sister Yah Sentawa, spokesperson for the new Black Panther Party. And we say a Black Power Fist to our guest tonight, Sister Jani Cook, who is listening in on live. Thank you, Sister, for your participation in this very important subject tonight. To the 5 percenters, the nations and gods and earths, all over the country, all over the world, we say peace to the gods and the earths. It's from many of those black defense agencies that we do not know, and organizations and institutions out there. We want to say Black Power. And for everyone else who's not really part of anything but is looking to learn something, if you're listening on a podcast in the future or if you're listening live, we want to say welcome and good evening to the latest episode of the Nat Turner Library Radio Show. As I said tonight, subject is Race War in America, Lynching. In 2019, a special report right from the front lines from a powerful black sister, who is the Assistant National Chief of Staff to the new Black Panther Party, Sister Jani Cook. She also, as I said earlier, is a radio personality on her own show, Bosslady, which we'll talk about how you can listen in on that. Sister is also the program director for the Black Justice Initiative, media manager for the Waker Foundation and Waker CD LLC. But amongst all, as I've talked with Sister many times over the last few weeks, Sister is a strong black queen that shares a very strong kindred spirit with sisters like Harriet Tubman, sisters like Fannie Lou Hamer, sisters like Assata Shakur, sisters like many of the strong black queens who have faced adversity, and they are willing to put their life on the line for the truth and establishment of truth. And that's our Sister Jani Cook. She will be our guest tonight to give us a frontline report on what's going on in North Carolina, and we're going to discuss lynchings in general, and then at this latter part of the interview, we're going to discuss some solutions and some surprises for those of you who may not know what true warfare and what the enemy actually fears about warfare from the black man and woman and anyone else. We're going to discuss that as well. And for those who are not familiar, what is the Nat Turner Library Radio Show? Nat Turner Library itself is founded by the founder of the Nat Turner Library, Elder Baba H. Halif Khalifa, a brother who is a wonderful, strong black man, came up as a student of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad during the 70s and was one time a member of the Black Panther Party, the original Black Panther Party back in the 70s as well, in the 60s. Here's a man who moved from Alabama with his family to seek a better life like so many did, and he came to New York City where he established roots right there in Southampton County. He also married a sister named Rita Fard Khalifa, but she's no longer with us. She has returned to the realm of the ancestors. May Allah be pleased with her. They had a vision of folk to establish a homeland for themselves here in North America, and that is what you see today in Southampton County. It is the remnant of the area that's representative, of the area in which the Honorable Minister Nat Turner, we say honorable because what he did was the most honorable thing you can do when you're facing adversity. That is to defend yourself. The scriptures of the Bible, as we know, say an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. And I personally believe, brothers and sisters, as the executive producer of the Nat Turner Library Radio, my personal motto is a head for an eye. Why do you say a head for an eye, Brother Michael? Because if someone is willing and aggressive enough to take your eye, you need to take their head off. And we're going to talk about that tonight. But it's in that spirit they created a library of all the books in North America that they can find that were published and written by black people, and he has a good portion of that there. If you ever have an opportunity, brothers and sisters, to see the Nat Turner Library, especially as we're coming up into the tourist season, please give Baba Khalifa a call directly. His number is 434-378-2140. That's 434-378-2140. 2140. He'll also be willing, health permitting and weather permitting, to take a group of people for a fee, of course, around to the Nat Turner War Trail. We say War Trail because this wasn't a peace rally. This was not a peace rally. When you're executing a revolution and you're in a time of war, there is no peace. And so the trail is a time for you and your family and your friends or your school or whatever to go and actually see where the locations were. And we commemorate the spirit of Nat Turner, Denmark Vesey, Gabriel Prosser, Sister Harriet Tubman, the Deacons for Defense, and many others who took up armed defense and also spiritual defense against an oppressive enemy, the worst enemy that the planet's ever seen, and that is the Caucasian white man of North America. Nothing in the history of annals of oppression has toppled that. They have contributed to the death and demise of well over 200 to 300 million people in their time being amongst us in this hell called North America and also around the planet Earth. And so this is, we call this show the Nat Turner Library Radio Show. Just to give you a little history, Nat Turner had to read something. And as the scriptures say, you have to get understanding. And in all that getting understanding, get knowledge, of course. We say in the Nation of Islam, get knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And as the book of James says, or book of Hosea, if you refuse knowledge, then God is going to refuse you. So in this show, we always like to give knowledge, brothers and sisters. I'm also an author of a book by the title of Checkmate, The War for the Black Mind, Part 1, The Black Woman. Part 2 will be forthcoming probably this time next year. We'll have it publishing. It's a book dealing with the subjugation and the deterioration of the black mind. Shout out to Dr. Wesley Muhammad, Dr. Umar Johnson, also known as Dr. Umar Infantunde. We had them on the last couple of weeks. Brother Chris Johnson, dealing with black economy. Thank you for your time with us. Also, we want to give you an opportunity, brothers and sisters, to support the Nat Turner Library itself by going to khabooks.com. That's khabooks.com, Cobb Books. Brothers and sisters, if you need a gift for someone, or if you just want to get some more knowledge on some things, Elder Baba Khalifa has been a books publisher for many a decade. He's also he's at one point was the largest black book publisher on the East Coast in the entire country, and he's still an author, and he's still writing to this day in his latter part of his 80 years, and we thank him for that. Also, his son, my good friend, Khalifa Muhammad, who might show up and surprise us tonight as part of the interview. He's also the chairman of the Nat Turner Library. He may be coming on tonight. And brothers and sisters who are familiar with the seasons 1 and 2 of the Nat Turner Library, Brother Khalifa will be returning shortly in one of the next few weeks with his own show, some surprises to come. You can also view our podcast and videos that we've done on various subjects by going to YouTube and typing in Nat Turner Library Radio. Of course, go to Facebook. Facebook's been down most of the afternoon. Amazingly enough, as we were setting up information for the show, all of a sudden Facebook goes down. Don't worry, I'll deal with them later, brothers and sisters. But go to Facebook, Nat Turner Library Radio. You get to see the news articles we have there. Also, you can go to Instagram when it's up. I understand that Instagram has also been down today. They were bought out by Facebook a few years ago. So Nat Turner Library Radio is what you type in. And if you want to follow us and follow what we're doing on Twitter, just simply go to NTLR-radio. That's NTLR-radio. How do you purchase my book, brothers and sisters, and the great T-shirts that we have made up for our people? Go to bromichaelmuhammad.com. That's BROMICHAELMUHAMMAD.com. You can also go to black-e-books.com to further support the Nat Turner Library Radio Show and support Sister Nadira Khalifa, daughter of the founder of the Nat Turner Library. She is the resident health expert here in the Nat Turner Library. She has her own Facebook Live page and a great website called easylightsources.org. It's easylightsources.org. Brothers and sisters, again, to be a part of the show, if you're about to drive or if you know someone is driving or you're having bad signal on your Internet, call in at 515-605-9882. That's 515-605-9882. Again, brothers and sisters, you are listening to the Nat Turner Library Radio Show. Coming
Mr. Muhammad.
Yes.
It is time for the news.
with Sister Tan.
It sure is. Time is goes fast. We've got a lot of information. Sister Tangela, are you there? Like salam, and peace be returned to you as well. How are you, Queen? I'm doing well. A lot going on in the world. We just saw the news, brothers and sisters who are listening. There's a bomb, they call it a bomb storm, busting up Colorado and Cheyenne Mountain and all those places where they got secret societies out there. So there's much news going on. What else you got for us, Sister Tangela?
Okay, the first article from the Courier Journal.
All right.
Louisville is renaming its airport after Muhammad Ali. Muhammad Ali once said his greatest greatness came and started in Louisville. But now city officials announced that their airport will be named Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport after Muhammad Ali. So
go ahead.
That's a wonderful way to recognize him.
All right.
I think that was a beautiful thing for them to do that. So now when people fly into Louisville, they will see Muhammad Ali's name on the airport.
That's right. Black man got his own airport, but you know, it was African tradition, Sister Tangela, for us to give commemoration and love to our ancestors or to those that we love not until they die.
Yeah.
And so it's a shame that our brother did all he did.
That is true.
And we had to wait. They had to wait till he died before they give commemoration.
I know.
Of
I
him.
agree with you on that.
We got to change that. We got to do as the Honorable Miss Lou Farrakhan said.
Flowers while you're alive.
Give them flowers while you're alive. I mean, that's what we got to do. So we give shout-outs and recognition to all our people. Yeah. But shout-out to the Louisville International Airport. They're going to name it the Louisville Muhammad Ali International Airport. Yes. I look to fly in there one day. Just to see the name. That's right. All right, what else you got?
The next article is from rollingout.com. Family wants answers about black mom found dead at adult sleepover. Yeah, fortunately, they had Tamala Horsford.
Yes.
She went to a sleepover at some friend's house to watch football with some football moms.
This is a sister, right?
It's a sister, yes.
Yeah, okay.
She's a football mom. Football moms included 7 white women and 3 men at a home in Forsyth County, Georgia. Well, the next morning, Horsford was found face down in the backyard by the homeowner's aunt at 7:30 a.m. on November 4th, 2018. But the police were not called to the scene until around 9:30. It was initially reported that Horsford suffered from injuries to her head and face. They thought maybe she had fell off the balcony of the, off the back balcony and fell and hit her head and suffered injuries and died. But apparently the family says they still haven't received any official autopsy report.
Wow.
There hasn't been an official cause of death. What hasn't been determined? The one coroner said that it was an accidental fall from a residential deck, and then also said that certificate said that acute ethanol intoxication was also.
Well, she had a little liquor in her system.
Yeah. But the family is they have a GoFundMe campaign, Justice for Tamala Horsford. They're trying to raise $25,000 to try to get some more, get some more word out about this, because her murder is still unsolved.
Oh, I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. And it is going to remain unsolved. Just like our brother we interviewed, Terrence, what's the brother's name? Terrence Woods. Whose son was out in Idaho just past October, and they said that he just ran away, went crazy. They don't know where he is.
Right.
It seems like, and we're going to talk about this tonight, Sister Tangela, it seems like, I'm sorry, what's your comment on that article?
It just seems strange for her to be at an adult sleepover with 3 men and 5 white women.
Right. That don't even make sense.
It just seems kind of odd. I don't know what. Seven white women. It just seems kind of odd for them to have that type of adult party like that, and it seems something ill intent has probably been happening to her.
Well, let me, if I may interject, brothers and sisters, Forsyth County, Georgia, not too far from Metro Atlanta, is a place in 1987 where I think it was February of 1987. 1987, Sister Tangela. Oprah Winfrey, our sister.
Oprah Winfrey, yeah, she went there. Yeah.
You know, we at odds with her now with her comments about Michael Jackson post-mortem, but Oprah visited a place, and they called it in 1987, that same county, a place where no black person had lived there for 75 years up until that point.
It was a sundown town.
It was a sundown town. For those who don't know, sundown towns are featured in the movie. What's that name of that movie? Yes. What was it called again? Green Book, right. Well, basically, it's so bad in North America, and I argued the point, Sister Tangela, that we need green books today.
Yeah, you know, and I used to work at Forsyth County, and the sad reality was that a lot of my managers were actually afraid for me to work in that area.
Yeah.
Because they didn't know how Forsyth County, and this was in the early 2000s.
That was early 2000s.
Yeah, how, you know, white people in that area would take to me being there. But I honestly did not have any issues and have any problems, you know, working in Forsyth County. But yeah. I would never live there.
Well, you know, brothers and sisters, this is an indication for those who are not familiar with the teachings of the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. Mm-hmm. We believe in the Nation of Islam that you should only be where you are invited, where you're loved. We believe in separation of the races for the purpose of salvaging. This isn't hate teaching. This is salvaging yourself. Why the heck do you and I want to spend our money and time in an area with people that don't want you around? It's called, in the world of psychology, dealing with love, it's called unrequited love. That's when you love somebody who doesn't love you back. And I have to say, and I'll say this in conclusion of that article, don't be where you're not wanted, brothers and sisters. Stay away from groups of white people, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said. Stay away from large crowds of white people. Their time is up, and they don't love you. What else you got for us, Sister Tam?
The next article is from RT.com. The White Helmet, alleged organ traders and child kidnappers, to be condemned, not condoned. The White Helmets are volunteers who reportedly rescue Syrians from rubble, you know, during the whole Syrian, you know, things that are happening in that area.
Right.
A recent panel at the UN Security Council in New York revealed the second evidence of the White Helmet involvement in organ trafficking in Syria. What was happening was this organization was actually, you have to go on Facebook page and read this article. They was actually kidnapping people. You know, people will, you know, be injured or hurt doing some struggles.
Right.
You know, doing the war and stuff, whatever.
Right. This is in Syria particularly.
In Syria, exactly.
Yeah.
They wouldn't help them. They would actually get them, those who were not wounded too hard. You know, if you was barely wounded, you know, and you was young and you was strong, they would take you directly to a hospital in Turkey and have your organs harvested.
Lord have mercy.
Yes.
So here we go. Distress to these white helmets.
Yes.
They call themselves that.
White helmets, they call themselves.
And, you know, these people who are in distress in Syria.
Yes.
You know, they
are in distress in Syria.
So check out the conspiracy, brothers and sisters. The Syrian people are running from ISIS and Al-Qaeda, groups that we've proven in previous shows that were set up by the CIA as well as Israeli Mossad to terrorize the Arab world, because they ain't going to Israel terrorizing nobody. They ain't coming to the U.S. terrorizing nobody. They going straight to the other Muslims terrorizing. And then, so when they run from them, they hoarding them like cattle, say, okay, great, thank you, let me get your organs.
Right. And it didn't matter if the person was alive, they were dead, you know, they would come back. If someone was alive and they had a simple injury, they didn't even need hospitalization. They would end up going to the hospital and end up getting surgery and having an organ removed. And the organs were being worth like if you was a dead person, it was worth $2,000 on their market there, and if he was alive, the organ was worth $3,000.
So if the person was dead, $2,000. Person alive, $3,000.
Yes, and you know, it got to the point where Syrian families were hiding their children. Like their children, fell and got hurt or something. They would hide their children because they were so afraid that one of the white helmet organizers would see their child being hurt and want to take them to the hospital.
Oh, yeah, they're going to take them to the hospital, all right.
Yes.
The cash hospital.
They was kidnapping their children, exactly.
I mean, this is the enemy.
Yeah, this is unbelievable.
This is white folk for you. Now, did you make up this news?
No, not at all.
Did Brother Michael make up that news?
No, he did not.
So, brothers and sisters, once again, more proof why separation is a solution. It is a natural solution that God gives. We don't advocate that anybody integrate with white folk. Now, if you're a child that's a mixed child, that's different. You can't hate your folk like that.
No, you can't.
But what I'm talking about is a society where that oppresses black people and oppresses original people all over the planet Earth. Because all them Arabs, they ain't nothing but mixed children. That's the whole area is mixed children, mixed with the original blacks that were there and mixed with some Caucasian. That's what you get as an Arab mixed with a little bit of Asian here and there.
Yeah.
All right, what else you got for us?
The next article is from RT.com.
All right.
Michael Cohen predicts revolution if Trump loses in 2020.
Oh, Lord.
Actually, yeah, Michael Cohen shared his fear that there would be never a peaceful transition of power if his former boss loses.
Oh, you talking about Michael Cohen?
Yeah, but Cohen, yeah.
Okay, yes.
Right.
Yeah, you said Cohen.
Cohen.
I know. Go ahead.
He called Michael Cohen. He called Trump. He's a racist. He's a con man, and he's a cheat. You don't know him like I do. He said.
Lord have mercy.
This is probably true.
well, who knows him better than the man who was designed? How you say he worked for him for over a decade, right?
Yeah, over a decade. Yeah, he worked for him.
And now this article, he said. So let me make sure he got this correct. Michael Cohen. The man who testified about a week ago before Congress to talk about the true spirit of Donald Trump.
Yes.
The man who is the United States government's president voted in by racist white folk and some ignorant brothers and sisters, right?
Yes.
Okay, his words are, if Trump is impeached, but he didn't say those words, but I'm going to add in there, he's impeached, or furthermore, if he's no longer allowed to, he's predicting, based on his intimate intervention with or dealing with him, that there will be a civil war in America.
Right. Brothers
and sisters, you can't make this up. So the theory of the show tonight with our sister Jani Cook, Sister Tangela, is about race war in America. Now, everybody knows that the backlash of Trump being elected came from the white backlash of our brother Barack Obama, who did absolutely nothing for black folks other than stay some things that would have hurt us even more. He just stayed a little bit here and there, but he wasn't a pro-black guy. He tried to do what he can, but he towed the line. Just the fact that he was there, white folks said, we're going to put the whitest cracker we can get in there.
That's true.
That is the reality of living amongst an enemy, brothers and sisters. Sister Tangela, what comments do you have about that Cohen trial or that article?
I think what Michael Cohen is saying is the truth. He's telling the truth. As simple as that. He is a racist. He's a liar, and he's a cheat.
You're talking about, when you say he, you're referring to Donald Trump.
Donald Trump. That's what he is. That is true. That he has made that known to everyone. Anyone that reads his tweets, anyone that hears him on TV knows that.
Well, brothers and sisters, as the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, my teacher and guide, once said, when he came here to Atlanta a few years ago, he said they have a measurement device that measures how many lies Donald Trump actually says.
Right.
And I think it was something like 1,000 or 2,000 lies per year they measured. That's just public lies.
I know.
Is a man who said you should grab women by the you-know-what.
Yeah.
Is a man who is very complicit with his intimacy with his daughter. Is a man who's intimidated and threatened other candidates while he was on the trail. Is a man who called white supremacists are very, very good people, and at the same time called pro-black anything. He called them terrorists. He called them thugs. He called our brothers and sisters who were just our brothers, particularly in the NFL, just someone sitting taking a knee for recognition of what's going on in the black America. He called them thugs and SOBs. Here's a man whose father was a Klansman. That's your president of the United States. Brothers and sisters, we are in a race war. I didn't make that term up. So, Sister Tangela, we want to thank you for those news.
Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. And we thank you for all that you do for the Nat Turner Library. We pray that Allah continues to bless you with knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and bringing this great news to the black society that we have in our blackness of this hellhole called North America. Brothers and sisters, more of this coming up. Facebook went down, Instagram went down, internet services going down, phone services going down. They trying to prevent this show from happening. But the God of justice is here tonight, brothers and sisters. And tonight, we got our sister coming up right after this, Sister Jani Cook, the sister who was there on the front line to talk about lynching in Black America. You're listening to Nat Turner Library Radio Show. Hold tight, brothers and sisters.
FinalCall.com. FinalCall.com. One word, FinalCall.com. The award-winning website for the realest and most accurate black news available on the planet. FinalCall.com. Fair, reasonable, accurate, and inclusive. We are a unifying website. FinalCall.com. Go there today.
This is your brother here, Brother Michael Muhammad, executive producer of Nat Turner Library Radio, and your brother. That's Checkmate, The War for the Black Mind, Part 1, The Black Woman. Did you know that the black mind has been under attack since the creation of the Caucasian 6,600 years ago? Ever wonder the connection between a black hole and the power of black women? Did you know that there is a mathematic connection between black people and the blackness of the universe? Want to know the true purpose of the women's liberation movement in the 60s and the original one that was in the late 1800s? What is the Louisiana-Mississippi syndrome? Again, that's the Louisiana-Mississippi syndrome. All of this and more in Checkmate, The War for the Black Mind, Part 1, The Black Woman. This is my first book, and this will not be the last. Go to the website, bromichaelmuhammad.com. That's BROMICHAELMUHAMMAD.com. You can also go to Facebook and type in Checkmate, The War for the Black Mind, and call me direct if you would like to book any engagements or anything dealing with Checkmate, The War for the Black Mind. 678-906-6306. 678-906-6306. This is your brother, Michael Muhammad, in Nat Turner Library Radio.
Stay tuned for Nat Turner Library Radio.
The Marcus Garvey Mid-Atlantic Movement. It will be a special initiative to organize brothers and sisters who live in the Mid-Atlantic section of America. Delaware is the first state of the United States, and it will be the first state for the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy. So if you live in Delaware, you need to hit me up. If you are in Delaware and you are serious about nation building, if you live in Delaware and you are serious about nation building, whether that is FDMG, whether that is Team Pan-African, whether that is NIBPA, whether that is the Unapologetically African Movement, I need you to text me 215-989-9858. 215-989-9858. Again, 215-989-9858. If you are serious, we are approximately speaking of Connecticut down to D.C. Connecticut down to D.C. If you live in New York, if you live in New Jersey, if you live in Connecticut, if you live in Pennsylvania, if you live in Delaware, if you live in Maryland, let me say it again. If you live in the state of New York, if you live in the state of Connecticut, if you live in the state of New Jersey, if you live in the state of Pennsylvania, if you live in the state of Delaware, and if you live in the state of Maryland, those 6 states will make up the Marcus Garvey Mid-Atlantic movement of Team Pan-African. And if you live in one of those 6 states, ultimately it's going to spread to all 50 states. We are Pan-Africanists. We are about everybody. I just want to use those 6 states as a launching pad, as a foundation upon which we can organize all African people across the country and around the world, brothers and sisters. I need you to text me 215-989-9858. 215-989-9858. Again, 215-989-9858. If you are serious.
It's your brother here, Michael Muhammad from Nat Turner Library Radio Show. Brothers and sisters, I have recently launched my new writing, Checkmate, The War for the Black Mind, Part 1, which is dedicated to the study of the mind of the black woman and how our enemies have attacked the black woman to get to ultimately the black community. But I also have a website, bromichaelmuhammad.com, BroMichaelMuhammad.com. That's bromichaelmuhammad.com. On this, you will see me. You will see the M6X apparel, which has beautiful shirts, 100% organic black shirt. For the sisters, we have the Be Yourself, Love Yourself shirt. The shirt that says, I'm not a toy for a little boy, I need a man with a plan. And for our conscious sisters, modesty is loving yourself. When you disrespect women, you destroy the future for everyone. We have the shirts of 100% organic black, which gives all the attributes of our organic black man and woman. We have Honor Thy Mother and Thy Father. We have the 100% Black God shirt, one of the most popular. We have the Know Your Enemy shirt with the atrocities that have happened to the black man and woman of North America on the back. And we also have the Checkmate book cover shirt in many different colors. We also have fragrances are available. You just simply have to tell me which one you need. And these are all the things you can find on bromichaelmuhammad.com. That's bromichaelmuhammad.com. The website, you can go to it from your e-reader, you can go to it from your tablet, you can go to it from your PC. You can also reach me directly at michaelasia33@gmail.com. It's michaelasia33@gmail.com. You may also call me direct at 678-906-6306. Peace.
Brothers and sisters, we're back. You're back, brothers and sisters. You're listening to Nat Turner Library Radio Show. Tonight's subject, Race War in America. Lynching in 2019. Brothers and sisters, this is a serious subject. Got a special report from our sister Jani Cook. Sister is the leader of the new Black Panther Party under the guidance of Chairman Hashim and Akhenaten and Zenga. And she's assistant to National Chief of Staff of the new Black Panther Party, Brother Imam Akbar, a strong black man who was out there, both of which were out there in North Carolina last week and a half or so ago. You probably don't know this, brothers and sisters, because the news don't talk about it. There's been some lynchings again. It's been going on, but they don't want to talk about it. They try to say it ended in the 80s or in the 70s, but it's still going on. And so our sister Jani Cook, who is holding online, we're going to get right to you, Sister Jani. But brothers and sisters, to set the mood, I want you to hear something from the other side. Our sister Sandra Bland. What has she got to say about Black Lives Mattering?
Plain and simple. Plain and simple. You might have a black friend or two, and I'm not calling all white people racist because y'all not, but for the ones who want to get on my page talking about all lives matter, show me in American history where all lives have mattered. Show me where there has been liberty and justice for all, like that fucking Pledge of Allegiance we love to say. Excuse my French, because Sandy speakers don't usually cuss. But I was really irritated by the responses on to the post that I made earlier, because white people, if all lives mattered, would there need to be a hashtag for Black Lives Mattering? Think about that. Just truly think about that. Yes, black-on-black crime numbers are extremely high. Yes, they are, but that is because there are uneducated people who are hell-bent on self-extermination. I am not one of them. I am into building up my kings and queens. So for me, Black Lives Matter. And then subset, all lives matter. Take it or leave it. Sandy speaks.
Thank you, Sister Sandra Bland. May Allah be pleased with your spirit. Brothers and sisters, that was our Sister Jani Cook. Brothers and sisters, I want to welcome y'all to a strong black woman. I've had the opportunity to meet. My wife and I met her. I've had the opportunity to speak to her a few times over the last few weeks. This is a sister who told me the same spirit that I have. She says, I'm going to put my life on the line for my people for justice. If I die, then so be it. And I want to introduce you to a strong black woman who's in that spirit, a strong black woman, brothers and sisters, that went there with those brothers and sisters who sit there in the police station demanding justice for these lynchings. I'm talking none other than our Sister Jani Cook. Welcome to the Nat Turner Library Radio Show, Sister Jani Cook. How are you this evening?
Thank you. And Ashe and Shalom and Assalamu Alaikum to you, Brother Michael Muhammad.
Well, alaikum salam.
Thank you.
Yes, ma'am. I say black power, black power, black power.
Black power, yes. It is Black Power Hour. I'm grateful to be a part and serve under the Honorable Hashim Akhenaten Nzinga, my national chairman, and my national chief of staff, Imam Akbar. It's been a great pleasure to serve. This is national assistant is Sister Michelle Moore, and I'm just a newbie, but I've been gunning for my people. This is hard as it all these former Panthers, you know, in the struggle because it's time. I wasted so much time getting with them. You know, you feel like you're on a race when you're in the Panthers. Because we are at war. We are definitely at war. If you don't know you're at war, you're the only one that's not fighting out here.
Go ahead. I like that. If you don't know you're in a war, you're not fighting. Go ahead. Well, Sister Jani, I want to introduce you to the Nat Turner family. I know you. My wife knows you. We've spoken. People see you on social media. You have your show, Bosslady. And when can people listen to your show?
Yeah. Yeah, well, I had the honor. That's why I never got around to talking to you, but I did have the honor of meeting Sister Manger and Baba Khalifa before during the 10,000 Black Men's March.
Okay, yeah.
We are spiritually connected.
That's
and
right,
Sister AJ Jones. Shout out to Sister AJ and Nadira. So I'm very. This is like home being around them. I actually invited them to come stay with me while they were at an event here in Washington, D.C. for the weekend. So we got acquainted very well.
Beautiful.
Yeah, and we also did Natural Life Movement. Well, she had a radio show on one of my radio stations. But I was the program director. I told you I forgot stuff.
Well, you know, the universe has a way of connecting.
I forgot a couple of things that I had been doing.
Yeah, that's right. Well, you know, the universe has a way of connecting kindred spirits. And I have a question for you. This thing called lynching. I want to make it clear, brothers and sisters, for who may be listening, and some of those other than that who may be listening to the show. We want to make the idea of lynching, to bring it home. This isn't a history. This is what's going on today. And so I want to give a definition for the audience, Sister Jani. I am saying your name correct. Is that right, Sister Jani? Is that right?
Yeah, it's Jani. Jani, but it look like Jamie, but it's Jani.
Okay. So brothers and sisters who are listening, lynching means this. It means a mob of people. This is according to the definition that's given us to by Webster, a mob of people who are designed to kill somebody, especially by hanging, for an alleged offense with or without a legal trial. I'll say it again. This is a real word. It's a mob of people designed to kill someone, especially by hanging, for an alleged offense with or without a legal trial. And so this here is a mob attack thing, this idea of lynching. We are very familiar with it in the black community. And Sister Jani, I want to read one other thing just to set the tone. And I want to ask you what's been going on in North Carolina so people can be aware, and we talk about the whole thing here. Just to give you an idea, brothers and sisters, so y'all understand what's been going on. According to the NAACP, I'll say it again. Now, I'm not a fan necessarily of everything that our civil rights organizations do, but they do. If they don't do nothing else, they can compile some statistics. And so, according to the NAACP, they have lynchings as starting somewhere around 1882. This is right after the emancipation of slaves, brothers and sisters. Okay, so 1882 was less than 2 decades after slavery. It actually started just before it. White Southerner owners, former slave owners, could not take the fact that black people were free. They were afraid of blacks coming in retribution. So the NAACP estimate that there were 4,743. I'll say it again. That's just a conservative estimate. We know there was about 10 times that had actually happened, but they said it was 4,743 lynchings occurred in the hells of North America against black people by whites and mobs of white people. And of those, 3,446, they say, were black. That's 73% of those, okay, that were black that were lynched. All right. What does that mean, brothers and sisters? That means we're in a war. So when I use the term race war, that's a war, okay? Now, this didn't stop in 1968. That's just when the NAACP stopped collecting data on it. I'll say it again. They stopped collecting data on lynchings around that time. So just to set the tone, Sister Jani, tell us what's been going on in North Carolina.
North Carolina is bubbling over right now with turmoil and lynching accusations and lynching suspicions, and it's just terrible. We've been getting several calls from family members. We're getting calls all over from concerned citizens in North Carolina of mistreatment, of mishandling of cases, of murder, everything from people murder. They know who did it. They're not locking the people up who committed the murder. Hanging. You heard of the Lennon Lacey hanging?
Yes.
And we just recently went down to investigate Gary Kimber. Upon our investigation, what we saw as opposed to what the family has accepted, which I'm not going to get into a lot of details, they should reevaluate the fact that he committed suicide, if that's what they believe. I'm going to leave that one alone. I was told not to speak on that one.
Okay, understood. They're still doing litigation.
We got into our office about that one, about him being found at a bus stop hanging from a tree. He was at a bus. Do you hear me? At a bus stop, on a busy highway, hanging from a tree.
The young brother. What was his age?
So, he was 26 years old. And we just had to go and investigate ourselves from what the public asked us to do in Durham, North Carolina. And some of the neighbors that were there gave a report, and it was unfortunately it was a white lady that came out and gave the best she could do. She said, I couldn't tell, but he wasn't under that tree by himself. She said that several times. She said it was more than him out there. She said when she went to bed, she heard all the commotion. She woke up 4 o'clock in the morning. There he was in the tree hanging. But she said it was at least 2 or 3 people under the tree with him. So, under or making the noise or out there, because she had a clear view. she could clearly see what was going on. And, I mean, you're right there by the road. So we went to go off of our investigation to see the place ourselves. We are not convinced that this young man did this. But like I said, out of respect for the family, we're going to leave that part alone. But it was other cases in North Carolina that we went to investigate as well. You know, I just don't want to get a whole lot of details of people riled up that this is, you know, this is what we came for. We came for several reasons about misconduct in Durham, North Carolina. And we are coming back to Durham, North Carolina. As a matter of fact, we're going back pretty soon on March the 23rd for a show of force that we're not going to tolerate none of this stuff. We're not going to tolerate mishandling of court cases in Durham, North Carolina, where murder is involved, and you know who murdered someone, and you continue to allow this person to walk the street. We have a case going on about that. We've got a lot of concerned elderly people in Durham, North Carolina, concerned about the police presence and not doing their job. And we're going to show up. We've been commanded. Our chief of staff gave the order. He put it out there, boots on the ground, March 23rd in Durham, North Carolina. We will be there.
So
all Panthers on call.
Say that one more time.
All Panthers on call. March 23rd is a Panther call. It's any ranking Panther within the sound of my voice is on call. This is an armed maneuver. We will be there.
Sounds good. So I got a question.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, but it's time for us to stop sitting back and talking about what are we going to do and start taking control of our own community and doing something. We can't sit back and keep letting this stuff happen. Because like we said right there on the great site, a threat to justice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. And if it's going to be, if Durham, North Carolina is ground zero, and that's where it's going to start at. It's going to start there, and hopefully we can end it there. But we're going to let them know that it's not okay to hang people. The brother Leonard Lacey, we did some investigation on his case, and he was actually lynched and hung from a swing set because of his relationship with the white lady. She came forward later about that one. And it's stuff going on in Raleigh, North Carolina, because, you know, the little boy, little 6-year-old, they pointed machine guns at his face and made him sit outside in 35-degree weather. The boy has autism and cerebral palsy, and they were looking for his cousin. Even though the cousin wasn't in the house, they made him sit outside in the rain for an hour, and that's just wrong. Like, they not only are violating people's civil rights, they're violating your human rights. Because I've yet to see them point guns at white children and babies and things like that. Do you remember seeing the video of the little white girl got out the car with her hands up in the air?
Yes.
Saying, don't shoot me, when her daddy got pulled over. They didn't point a gun at that child, so why would you do it to an autistic child? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just blatant, flat-out racism. It's something that can be done about it. It's a choice. They're choosing to enforce it because of this imperialism and white supremacy. It's okay to be, you know, invoke my white privilege president that we got in office. I'm not even going to call president. What do you say, 46 minus 1? You know, with this okay to say what you want to say out your mouth about my people. And it's just time. It's time for us as colored people to stop shucking and jiving, stop playing games, get on code, get organized. That's the main thing that we're going to show these people in Durham, North Carolina, is how to be organized. Organize a rally, organize a march, organize against oppression of your own people. This is your community. You got to take control of your own community, where you are at. Correct?
That's right. So, Sister Janae, I want to ask you a question or two. Yeah, I want to ask you a question or two. I was just looking at a map not too long ago of Durham, North Carolina, where the young brother was lynched. There were a few others in the last few years that were lynched in that area. I had them, for those who are listening to the show, we got quite a few people listening to the show tonight, and I'm sure we'll be listening in the next coming few weeks. There were several people in the Raleigh-Durham area. We have a sister named Kendra Shanice Reed in Lexington, North Carolina. We have Brother Lennon Lacey, and the latest is our brother Gary Kimber in Durham, which you had mentioned before. Those are just three of the more recent in the last few years. But let me give a brief history to the audience. You and I talked about this not too long ago. I sent you a video of what's called the Greensboro, North Carolina Massacre. Brothers and sisters who are listening to my voice, if you want to be a part of this conversation, you want to listen in, we may have a time for question and answers about this coming up in the future in the next 20 or 30 minutes. 515-605-9882. That's 515-605-9882. The Greensboro, North Carolina Massacre happened, brothers and sisters, in November 3rd, 1979. There were a group of people who were protesting the Klan. And yes, there were some white folk in there, and they were joining some good-intended, well-intended black folk saying death to the Klan. And so the Ku Klux Klan came there about 12 cars deep, and 2 cars full of people with automatic weapons shot down and tried to kill all of them. But they shot about 20-something people and killed 5 people, including one sister was killed by the Klan. And an all-white jury in that Greensboro area, North Carolina, 1979, 1980, they found them not guilty. And so these people, Sister Janae, are still walking around free. They gave birth to children. They had
not one person did 1 day in jail behind those murders. I saw the video. Did you see the video? Okay.
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am. Yes,
then
ma'am.
Is there no statute of limitation on murder?
Sure isn't. There's no statute of limitation on murder. So the point I'm making is setting up the history of North Carolina. That particular area, Sister Janae, as you probably know, because you're part of a military. I'm part of a military called the FOI. We all part of the black military. And when you do military strategy, you got to know your terrain. And in that area, in the terrain, there's Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill, Cary, North Carolina, and Greensboro, Winston-Salem are all in the same area, along with Fayetteville down a little further. That's the same cracker in that area. And I say that term cracker because the people who are committing murders of our people don't deserve any positive recognition, any respect whatsoever. They the cracker, they a devil. Dylan Storm Roof, the one who shot our brothers and sisters up in South Carolina, up in this church in Charlotte, up in whatever that city is, cracker. The people who lynching our people, cracker. The people that's doing these things, they devils and crackers. So they don't get no respect on the Nat Turner Library radio show, but we will make sure that we speak the truth as hard and strong as we can. So in Greensboro, North Carolina, them crackers gave birth, the ones that killed our people and shot them down cold blood, to children. And their children had children. And their children all live in that same area, Sister Janae. And so brothers and sisters that are listening, this is war. So Sister Janae, I want to take a moment. I want to play a 2-minute clip from a Caucasian who talks about why white people are afraid, and I want you to comment on this. They're going to talk about it, and so I want to lead into that discussion, and then we're going to talk about what us in the black military of Black America need to do at a time like this. So hold tight. Here's a Caucasian talking about white man's fear, brothers and sisters.
Arrogance, narcissism, all that good stuff. So what is it that stops so many white people from wanting to change their hearts in regards to race and wanting to see the reality and come out of denial? What is it that keeps us stuck right there in that comfortable position of untruth? Well, I think part of it is fear. Another part of it is greed. Greed in that we don't want to lose dominance. We don't want to lose power. We don't want to lose privileges. We don't want to lose benefits that the system of white supremacy has created here in America for white people. We don't want to lose none of it. We're scared. We're scared of black retribution. We're scared of black vengeance. We're scared shitless, and we always have been. Since day one, we put our hands on black people. Grabbed them, snatched them up, put them on a boat, and made them our own fucking personal slaves and assistants for no pay. We did all that. You goddamn right, we're scared. We're scared of losing what we got. We're scared of losing our positions. And we're scared of retribution. So we got a lot of fucking fear, man. Yeah, we do. You hear me, white brothers and sisters? A lot of fucking fear. We're scared. We always have been. You see a black man walk down the street, you lock your doors, you check making sure he ain't gonna hurt you, you clutch your purse. We're scared.
They are scared. Sister Janae, what you got to say about what that Caucasian had to say?
I'm going to say what everybody is black. Everybody that had a black grandmother or grandfather who knew anything about anything will kill you. A scared person will kill you. You remember that talk?
The teaching. Yes,
somebody
ma'am.
scared will kill you. If they are afraid of you, they will kill you. If it's got to be you or them, they're going to choose them automatically. You could be the best Uncle Tom, Aunt Jane in the world, but if they are afraid of you, they're going to kill you. They are seriously afraid of us. Because, number one, if we were to ever, which we don't be thinking about white people like this, most black people don't. If we were to ever come to grips on what the extent that they have done to us in this country, we would kill them all. But we don't have that type of heart. We don't have the heart that they have. We still love them. We still feel like we can't live on this earth without them. You know what I'm saying? That's the sad part. Right. We still have love for white people. We still have pity on them. We still pray for them when they kill us and they want to destroy us. That's what makes us uniquely who we are. That's why they hate us, because they can't find in their heart to forgive themselves for what they did to us. You know what I'm saying? They can't find in their heart to say, if you did this to my granddaddy, I would still be killing niggas today. That's what they were saying. You know what I mean? That's what they mean. It's like they say, if you rape my sister or if you rape my daughter, I'm going to go out here and kill a whole bunch of niggas. You know what I'm saying? That's what
ma'am, I do.
And that's what this is what they said they did to us. They taught us what they did to us, and they waiting on the day when we wake up and say, well, why the hell do we continue to allow this to go on? You know what I'm saying? So what we going to do back? And we're not doing anything back. We just becoming generation after generation of conditioned slaves. And it's going to keep going on until we wake up one day and realize that we are at war. We still at war. We still don't have freedom. We still haven't even got a formal apology. I wouldn't even, I'm a little passionate right now, but, everybody's talking about reparations and things like that. Money, there is no amount of money that can retribute what white people and white supremacy has done to black people in this country. No amount of money. You can't put a dollar sign. Just like you can't really pay a caregiver. You can't pay nobody to care about you. You understand what I'm saying? That's basically what we're asking for. Care about us enough to pay us retribution for what you did to us. A letter of apology or a statue would do me some justice. We apologize. We know what we did to you guys was wrong. You know what I'm saying? That would be more of okay, thank you. You know what I'm saying? We acknowledging that. Now let's live in this country together. Let's try to get it together. But that's not what they want to do. They want to continue to oppress us. They want to continue to kill us and rape us and murder us. And we continue to turn the other cheek. But this is a new generation right here. And every generation come up say the same thing. But these kids right here, I ain't even talking about my generation. They're not going to tolerate this mess. And I'm speaking to my children and my grandchildren that's coming up because they're going to know the things that were done to them. And they're going to know that somebody in their family stood up for black people and stood up for us and said, you're not going to kill my black men anymore. I fear for my son's life. I have a 17-year-old. And I call him every day. You know, I'm out of state, but I have to talk to him every day just to make sure he is okay and safe and sound. You know what I mean? Like, not like, do you know what to do? He uses guns. He know how to shoot. Okay? Right. And I don't chastise him. I don't try to punish him because he got automatic weapons and none of that stuff like that. You can have an AR-15 in South Carolina. You know what I'm saying? You can have those type of weapons and things like that. You know, and he goes out in the woods and does training and things because you got to know how to protect yourself at all points, at all times. You don't never know when they're going to kill you. You know?
That's right.
You know what to do when you out here in this world.
Now, so Sister Janae, that spirit and that energy is so good. And now I want to ask you these questions here, and then I'm going to go right into, I want to play another clip to bear witness, and I want to transition the interview to some war strategy, since we acknowledge, and you've made a very strong case of acknowledging that we are in a war. We are in a war. And as I once told some friends and family members of mine years ago, they asked me, Sister Janae, why, Brother Michael, how you are. I learned something at a very young age, Sister Janae. You can take a bully, but the thing the bully don't want you to do is bust them right back in the head. You see? A bully don't like when you retaliate. And so I, as a Muslim... They don't want you to fight back. That's right. I, as a Muslim, and also I, as a student of the Bible, both books tell us that we must retaliate. I know for the good Christian brothers and sisters that are listening, they say that that Jesus said, if your enemy slap you on the right eye, right face, give him right cheek, you give him the other cheek as well. Okay, I'm going to argue this point. Since Sister Janae, you in the military, I'm in the military. Since brothers and sisters that are listening, you are part of the black military if you are enraged by what's happening to your people. So I'm going to use military strategy. The black man known as Jesus 2,000 years ago was teaching his disciples war strategy. There were 12 disciples with him walking all through Bethlehem, Rome, and all these other places. 12 disciples. And there were thousands of soldiers. Now, you and I both know, Sister Janae, that if you're executing a physical war, you cannot execute a physical war when you ain't got but 12 people versus a few thousand. Am I right?
Amen.
You can't. So Jesus was teaching them how to survive while they are behind enemy lines. He said, look, don't react right now. But that's literally what he was saying. He wasn't saying that you're supposed to be a pacifist, because the white folk who taught us Christianity, and I have nothing against Christianity, but the white folk who taught us that, okay, they didn't believe in turning the other cheek themselves. They only taught it to their former slaves. They taught it to us, black people in America. Nobody else on the planet was taught this and believed it other than the black man and woman in North America. So let's take that mess about turn the other cheek and hope somebody else save you. That's not happening. So we're going to have to discuss war strategy. That's right. I want to play a clip, Sister Janae, dealing with war strategy, and I want people to understand the type of war. Brother Michael has studied this type of war and what was necessary. What kind of war are we in, brothers and sisters? That's the question. And I want to play two clips from two military strategists dealing with white folk, and they talk about the type of war that they are afraid of, okay? And I want to play it. This is a guy named Ivan Eland. His name is Ivan Eland, and he's talking about guerrilla warfare. All right, so hold on, brothers and sisters.
We're looking at the possibility, a realistic possibility of some sort of coordinated guerrilla war developing in Iraq, do you think?
Well, I think we've already got the guerrilla war, but that's the key thing. If the Shia and the Sunnis and any other foreign fighters can unite under one command structure, that sends shivers up the Bush administration's spine.
Well, I mean, why would they want to? These groups hate each other in many ways. I mean, religiously, socially, they don't get along at all. There's been ongoing struggles between them for generations over there.
Well, we would have a marriage of convenience, and I think we've already seen that once in Fallujah, where the Shia came and at least gave symbolic support to the Sunnis in Fallujah. But when you have a common enemy, and I think the foreign invader here, the United States, is the common enemy, you see groups of disparate religious, ethnic, and political persuasions, submerging those differences to fight, and that's what could happen here.
The enemy of my enemy is my friend, in other words, that kind of thinking. But, it's interesting. You say that it's feared that this could be a guerrilla war because guerrilla warfare is the most successful type of warfare in human history?
Yes, it is. It's the weak against the strong, and frankly, I think we may not be able to win this. I think it may be over already because guerrilla warfare, no matter how many guerrillas we take out, and we took out a great ratio in Vietnam, the guerrillas, it's a political war, not a military war.
All right, brothers and sisters, that's a military strategist from the Independent Institute talking about warfare. Now, so you are a military general, Sister Janae. What's your comment on what he had to say about guerrilla warfare?
It sounds like they're afraid. That's what they fear the most. Guerrilla warfare. When you got to get in the bush with them, and you got to get up on them real close and sneak up on them in the middle of the night or in the middle of whatever, and that's what they're afraid of. Most likely.
Now, absolutely. Now, I thank you for that. I don't mean to cut you off, but I want to go right to the actual definition of guerrilla war. So I got the History Channel. This was a segment that I had recorded from the History Channel's definition of guerrilla warfare. It's only a minute long, and that way I want to hear a longer comment from you on that. So hold on. Here's what it is.
Now, guerrilla warfare is a style of fighting or certain tactics, things that they do to help them win. Now, guerrilla warfare normally consists of a military that is composed of irregulars or civilians. It's not an actual real army, so I'm going to put civilians here as well. So these are the types of things you would see consisting of a guerrilla warfare army, similar to a militia. Now, some of the strategies they would do would be non-traditional or non-traditional, which means they're not normal. It's not a normal type of army that they're going to be using different tactics than a normal army. So, for example here, an ambush. If he sneaks around, this is called an ambush. That is one major tactic here, tactics. That's a style that they would use to try to make sure that they can win the war. You see, guerrilla warfare normally consists of a small group of people versus a large group of people. So they use strategies that will help them win the war. So some other strategies might be sabotage. They might sneak in at night and destroy equipment that you need. Or rage. They would just show up and take everything that you got if they know that you're not there and paying attention to it. So these strategies help a small group of members help to beat a large, more organized army.
All right. You heard what he said. This is the tactics that are used to destroy a larger army. So, Sister Janae, what you got to say about all this?
Well, they know what's coming. I think that's what I got to say about that. They know that it's different formations being organized all around the Black Panther Party. We're not the only ones out here that are organized. We're not the biggest, we're not the smallest, but we are effective. We're the most effective, put it like that.
Absolutely.
We're the most effective and probably the most feared amongst them all because we leave Panthers everywhere we go. Everywhere we go, everywhere we show up, we're going to leave that paw print imprinted on the lives of others because we have discipline, we have military training, we are dedicated to worldwide, not just in the United States. Worldwide. That was the most feared. At one point, the Black Panthers, the original Black Panthers, were a global organization. You know, so they did everything they could to try to destroy them. And they don't want that to happen again, but it ain't nothing they can do about it this time, unfortunately. Unless we don't do it. Unless we don't do our job. It's our job right now and our responsibility to pick up what was left off because we were getting somewhere. We were actually getting somewhere in the United States of America and globally. Since then, it's like the whole world has just fell apart because there's no organization. And there's, you know, you doing your thing your way, you doing your thing this way, you this, you that, you know what I'm saying? But the Panthers, when you look into the history of the Panthers, whether we wearing these black suits or not, it's Panthers all over the world.
That's right.
Panthers everywhere. The spirit of the Panthers is going to live on when the black suit is gone. That's one thing I learned from my Imam Akbar. I always call him my Imam, but you know what Imam means, my minister.
I understand.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Because he really teaching me that even though we got these suits on, Jack, it's still going to be Panthers out here. It's still going to be somebody that's going to hear about the things that we have done and implemented in the world, and they're going to continue to spirit on. Long live the spirit of Dr. Khalil Abdul Muhammad. Now, you want to call me a Panther, you call me a Panther because of that man right there.
All right.
When I started really sinking into his ministry and his words and what he had to say, and I understand why he's no longer with us, but his spirit is still reigning through all of us. We all have that spirit of a Panther to say, you want us to sit up here and kumbaya with y'all, and we still not free. We not tiptoeing through those tulips with you crackers no more. It's over with. You know what I'm saying? It's over with. It's done. Your time is up of holding this noose over our head. You know what I'm saying? The stuff they're doing in the fashion industry, it's not fashionable to wear a noose around your damn neck.
Come on.
You know what I'm saying? It ain't fat out being muzzled and chained down and these things like that. It makes me angry because we not suffered enough? Have we not suffered enough and ridiculed ourselves enough? You know what I'm saying? It's the system in it, like even with knowing that this is a religion of white supremacy, when you realize that you have been hoodwinked for real, you ought to be pissed off. You ought to be as mad as I am.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying? Then they do these little test runs with our people. You don't want to educate us. You want to give us a half-wit education. Then tell us we lazy and we need jobs. Then when we go get jobs, you don't want to pay us on the job. You don't want to give us what it takes to sustain a life for ourselves. So we still not free. Then you want to give us food stamps and let us live off of that stuff, and then you want to take them back and say, well, you just ride the system. You have not taught us to be nothing but slaves. We still slaves.
That's right.
We still slaves to a system in a religion of white supremacy. I always wondered why all these jobs out here that are being created, why don't our black kids know how to be nurses? They still trying to be lawyers and doctors and football players and cheerleaders and, you know what I'm saying, like that. But we got biochemists and, architects and things like that. Why are our children not being exposed to these jobs that are out here?
They
you know what I'm saying? Why don't they have the job skills or job training when they get out of high school to go get a job? They don't even know how to read a burger sign. Some of them don't even know how to read and write their own name. So this is a religion of white supremacy that we're dealing with. We're dealing with the devil, a devil, but the devil.
The
if
devil.
You don't
That's
know
right.
That this is
right.
the devil
right.
that we dealing with. Then you need to wake up. It's time to wake up, black people.
Now I got a question for you. Sister Janae, are you up to taking any questions from the audience?
Yeah, I'm cool. I'm with you all night.
All right. So let's do this. Let me see if the audience has any questions, and we're going to take a quick little 2-minute break while I do that. And just hold tight. Brothers and sisters, you're listening to the Nat Turner Library Radio Show. Sister Janae, I'll get right back to you. Just going to see if the audience has any questions. And in the meantime, brothers and sisters, we'll hear a couple commercials from some good people. Hold tight.
Nat Turner Library Radio.
Nat Turner Library Radio.
FinalCall.com. FinalCall.com. One word, FinalCall.com. The award-winning website for the realest and most accurate black news available on the planet. FinalCall.com. Fair, reasonable, accurate, and inclusive. We are a unifying website. FinalCall.com. Go there today.
This is your brother here, Brother Michael Muhammad, executive producer of Nat Turner Library Radio, and your brother. That's Checkmate, The War for the Black Mind, Part 1, The Black Woman. Did you know that the black mind has been under attack since the creation of the Caucasian 6,600 years ago? Ever wonder the connection between a black hole and the power of black women? Did you know that there is a mathematical connection between black people and the blackness of the universe? Want to know the true purpose of the women's liberation movement in the 60s and the original one that was in the late 1800s? What is the Louisiana-Mississippi syndrome? Again, that's the Louisiana-Mississippi syndrome. All of this and more in Checkmate, The War for the Black Mind, Part 1, The Black Woman. This is my first book, and this will not be the last. Go to the website, bromichaelmuhammad.com. That's BROMICHAELMUHAMMAD.com. You can also go to Facebook and type in Checkmate, The War for the Black Mind, and call me direct if you would like to book any engagements or anything dealing with Checkmate, The War for the Black Mind. 678-906-6306. 678-906-6306. This is your brother, Michael Muhammad, of Nat Turner Library Radio.
Brothers and sisters, you are listening again to the Nat Turner Library Radio Show. So far, the audience is okay. They didn't have any questions or comments, Sister Janae. All right. So, Sister Janae, are you there still?
I am here.
All right. Well, you know, we got a pretty good audience. The people
Black Power.
Black Power, indeed. The people always love what they hear on the show. They don't really have too many questions or comments. You know, I'll be listening to some of these other radio shows, and people be all fussing and whatnot. But we make it plain. This is a war we in. Brothers and sisters, again, just to do a station identity check. You listening to the Nat Turner Library Radio Show with our special report about lynching in America 2019. This ain't about the 60s, a race war in America. Call in 515-605-9882. This is only if you're listening live. For those that are going to be listening on the podcast later, you can go to YouTube, type in Nat Turner Library Radio Show, or as you're listening to the podcast, give any comments or questions there. You can also email me direct at michaelasia33@gmail.com. That's michaelasia33@gmail.com. You can also listen in at Vimeo by typing in Nat Turner Library Radio. When the podcast is available, you can follow us on Twitter as well, NTLR-Radio, and Instagram, Nat Turner Library Radio Show, as well as Facebook, Nat Turner Library Radio Show. Tonight's subject, race war in America. We're discussing with our sister, powerful black woman, Queen Jani Cook. She's a radio personality, also a radio host, assistant to the National Chief of Staff, New Black Panther Party, program director of Black Justice Initiative, media manager for the Waker Foundation and Waker CD, and that's just the stuff we can get to. So, brothers and sisters.
Right, that's just what I remembered.
That's just what you remembered,
okay.
right?
Also,
but your biggest...
Also, I'm going to give a shout-out to the Comedic Alliance. I am a part of the Comedic Alliance.
All right.
It's a new project I'm working on, too. I told you I forgot something, so give a brief shout-out. And, the Comedic Alliance, which we're teaching principles of, Maya and Kemetic, ancient Kemetic, and Egyptian. Not Scientology, but
I know some Kemetic science, they call it. Yes.
Kemetic science, yes. So I'm involved in a lot of different things.
You can't be black in America.
Probably the most.
Yeah, you can't be black in America and not deal with at least somebody from the Kemetic science family. A shout out to Hotep to the Kemetic science family, wherever you may be.
Yeah,
the word chemistry, that's right. The word chemistry comes from the word Kemet. Proper name is Kemet. The Egyptians called it Egypt. That's because they wanted to rename everything. So, Sister Janae, I want to go, and I got one more clip I want you to comment on. And this is, we're talking about race war. So this is war strategy, brothers and sisters. Now, Brother Mike, for those who know what I do, Brother Michael does research. There's a gentleman that addressed the Council of Foreign Relations. His name is Max Boot. Now, he's really not that important. He addressed the Council of Foreign Relations in 2013. He's an author of a book called Invisible Armies. Now, the Council of Foreign Relations, for Brother Chris Johnson, if you're listening, you'll love this. The Council of Foreign Relations is right up there with the NABRIF and all the other secret society people. They're the group of Americans, politicians, and others that get together to decide how they're going to actually execute war on an international scale. So this man, who's an author of a book called Invisible Armies, he had the conversation with them concerning guerrilla warfare. So I'm driving home the point of guerrilla warfare for a second. I had two people that bear witness to the effectiveness of a guerrilla warfare, and that's some tactic that we should consider. But this is a guy who actually told the Council of Foreign Relations, Sister Janae, on what they fear the most. So here's the clip.
So what are the conditions under which you can successfully put down a rebellion by brute force? They're actually pretty limited, I would argue. You typically have to be operating on your own soil, or at least to have a lot of legitimacy, as in fact the Algerians, the Sri Lankans, and the Russians all did in the three instances that we talked about. You also have to be fighting an uprising that doesn't have any external support, because external support has been often the biggest factor correlating with victory or defeat in these kinds of conflicts. So you have to be fighting an uprising that is very isolated from the outside. And the third and related point is you have to be fighting in a conflict that doesn't have a lot of media attention. It's very rare these days that all three conditions apply, especially rare to be able to cut off media scrutiny, because even Assad has not been able to do that in the case of Syria for the last 2 years. So I thank you for asking that question. The bottom line is, yes, brutality can sometimes work, but less often than you think. And ultimately, it's not really an option for liberal democratic states like the United States. Our public opinion, our values just will not allow us to fight that way, so we have to find a different and more humane way to fight these kinds of conflicts.
All right. Max Boot giving his opinion on how to fight guerrilla war. And he said they can't fight guerrilla war.
They don't know how to fight it.
They can't fight it.
That's the whole point. They don't know how.
They can't. They can't.
Because you don't have the big tanks. You're not rolling in with big tanks. You rolling in with 2 or 3. Like, if you want to know the truth about how we operate, before we go anywhere, we send our scouts out weeks ahead of time. Nobody would even know, that they were there. It's the nature of a panther. You don't announce that you coming to town. You know what I'm saying? Unless you got a reason. You know what I mean?
Yes, ma'am.
You done your research. You've done your investigation. You got enough problems or cause. Okay, look at this, the little incident with the lady that crossed the line and the Panther got at her recently. You see that in the news?
No, ma'am, I did not.
Crossed the line at the zoo and
that
too
Panther.
close trying to take a selfie, and the Panther.
Right.
Yeah, and the Black Panther swiped her. I said, now how ironic is that?
Come on.
Cross the line. I think that's what it is. You cross the line. You try to take pictures. You want to be seen with a Black Panther, knowing that this is the most humble creature on the planet. Until you approach him, he'll back up. But when he see you still coming, that's when he attack you. You know what I'm saying?
Apparently that was
no
the second.
Straight up coming for us.
Right. That was the second white girl that got messed up behind that. That was the second white girl that got messed up behind that Panther too. Apparently the same Panther.
What do you do? Your white privilege don't work out here in the jungle. That's how I feel about guerrilla warfare.
Come on.
Your white privilege don't work out here in the real jungle. You swipe at the wrong Panther, we gonna get at your ass.
That's right.
It. Like my don't back down. We not backing down from nobody. We ain't backing down. We ain't dead. We got 30 years of the new Black Panther Party out here. We ain't come to tiptoe through tubes with nobody.
Well, I like that. Hey, well, so
you gotta
Sister
think
Janae,
about it like that. Everything.
No, go ahead. Here's what you're saying.
I was just saying everything is coming to fruition now, and it's making sense. At first I was like, what am I doing? But I was like, look at what's happening. Look at every day. Even if you want to back away from this and you want to ignore it and say it ain't my business, it's your business if you're black. Because they're not asking these young black men and women when they stealing their organs and finding them dead on the side of the road, are you a Muslim? Are you a Christian? Are you an atheist or a Buddhist? Or nothing? They killing you because you're black. That's it. They're not asking no questions. They don't care. They don't care. They crossing that line. They don't care if you got $1 million. They don't care if you wear Gucci, Prada, Fendi, whatever. They don't care what you got on. They're going to call the police on you, and they expect the police to kill you or get rid of you or do something about it because they execute them white supremacy. I just had another incident to come across my desk. It's a personal thing, but it's dealing with the school system. I hope my friend is online tonight. Down in Greenville, South Carolina, where he went on a field trip with the kids, and it's a predominantly white school. So these are children now. These are 8th grade students. They on the bus screaming, Trump, Trump this, Trump that, Trump this, Trump that, with Make America Great hats on again and all this old crap like that. You gonna get your little white children fucked up out here messing with these black kids. You know what I'm saying? And trying to think they can do what they want to do to our children. Our children is not taking it. They're not gonna go for that. This ain't 1968. This is 2019. It's not 1920. You know what I'm saying? It's a whole different time. They need to be careful about the things they implant in their children's head, and it's okay for them to do because it's not. It's not okay for you to run around here being in the middle of some politics, and you ain't even old enough to vote yet. You know what I'm saying? So they learn this stuff at home from their parents or whatever. But my friend that went on this field trip up here to D.C., he was so upset. He was like, they violated our civil rights. I said, no, stop saying civil rights. It's your human rights you fight for at this point.
Come on.
They're trying to take away from you. It's your human right. You have a right as a human being to defend yourself. You have this is the new Black Panther Party for self-defense. I have a right to defend myself, and I will execute that right to defend myself at all costs.
That's right.
You know? And ain't nobody attack. We're not no terrorist group or nothing like that. But if you attack me, I'm going to attack you back. An attack on one of us is an attack on all of us.
Attack on all of us.
Worldwide, nationwide.
Well, you know,
Black
beloved
power.
Sister Janae, Black Power. Black power indeed. I got to say something, Sister Janae. You know, we want to give you an opportunity to benefit from the audience listening. And I know you're a humble sister. You got a lot that you do. How can the audience continue to listen into your show? What time, what days, what number can they call, what website, any of that information? I'd like to give you an opportunity to present it now.
Okay, well, the number one thing I'm representing here is the New Black Panther Party. So you can reach the New Black Panther Party. If I always forget the 1-800 number. I wrote it down today. But we are recruiting worldwide, nationwide, for the New Black Panther Party for self-defense. We need your email address and your phone number and your location. Now, what did I do with it? And you can call the 1-800 number and get some more information. Or you can inbox me on Facebook at Jani Cook. Because I know they're going to kill me about that. But, I wrote the number down. Anyway, I got the number. What did I do? I write everything down, but then when I'm looking for it, I can't find it. But anyway, okay, you can send an email to send this email, okay, to QUEENT83NBPP@gmail.com.
One more time.
And that's for an application. All right. QUEENTH3N New Black Panther Party NBPP@gmail.com.
All right.
I don't know what I did with the 800 number. Or you can just reach me on Facebook at Jani Cook, JaniCook. Just inbox me and say I want to know the information about how to join the New Black Panther Party. And I'll get you that. Here go the 800 number. Oh, God. Okay. And the 1-800 number is 1-800-939-0106. Or you can, and this is the headquarters email address. This New Black Panther Party, NBPP, headquarters at AOL.com.
All right. Okay. So that's good.
And
now, what about your radio show?
Yeah. Okay, my radio show, I just get on, like right now I'm just doing Freedom of Death Radio on 8 o'clock. I used to do my show during the same time, but when I became active in the Panthers, they asked me to come over to, Imam had me come on as his assistant for the Freedom of Death Radio. So that's blogtalkradio.com/Freedom of Death Radio. That's on Monday nights at 8 p.m.
All right.
At 10 p.m.
Right. Okay, good.
Freedom of Death Radio. And can I talk about one more thing?
Absolutely. Okay. Yes, ma'am. Go ahead. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. I am also the social media director for the Waker Foundation with the Joseph Waker. It's WakerCD.me and it's WakerFoundation.me. Now this is the most phenomenal project that I'm a part of because we are going to Africa. We have acquired land and resources in Angola, Luanda, Angola. Anybody who has a passport and a visa can travel with us. I'll make the announcement if we're friends or whatever. You can get on the investment call and everything with us too to be a part of the Waker Foundation and the Waker CD, where we have the land that we have acquired from Angola. This is in Africa. It has all natural resources. I'm talking about diamonds. I'm talking about gold. I'm talking about oil. I'm talking about liquid gold. All these resources that they have in their country that they want us to come over to Angola and help develop their country and build houses. You can look at Angola like a disaster area, like Katrina, like after Hurricane Katrina.
Right.
So they need people to come over. We need contractors. We need doctors. We need nurses. We need builders to come over and help them rebuild their country. And in exchange, they're giving us land, ownership of the land, okay?
Right.
Come on now. You can't beat that. Ownership of this land here. And I was asking people, I said, if somebody was going to give you some land and say, all you got to do is come over here and build what you want to do, would you do it? Yeah, and I said, would you go to Africa? Well, no, I'm not going. I'm like, well, they're going to give you the land. They're giving it to you, giving it away. And like, there's this phenomenal thing that's going on between Africans of Dysphoria, that's us, and Africans in Africa when we're doing the Sankofa. This is the year of Sankofa, means to go back and take. Okay?
Right.
You know what Sankofa means, right? So
absolutely.
They are offering us to come home to Africa. They are giving us the opportunity to come home and build businesses in Africa. You don't have to go through all the red tape that you got to go through here in the United States. You don't have to go jump through hoops and hurdles and bounds of things to get stuff done. Anything you want to do in the United States, if you have a problem getting done, you can go to Africa and do it and become a millionaire in less than 5 years. Because the need is so great in these countries. They just need housing. They need electricity. They need plumbing. They need simple things that we take advantage of here in this country. It wouldn't take nothing for you to just go over there and say, well, I can do this and do that, and be done with it. Nobody said you had to move to Africa, but the opportunity to go build your own business or start your own business in Africa is there.
Well, yes.
We get past the language barriers and everything, but they speak English too.
Well, one of the elders last summer, one of the African elders that came to the Nat Turner property at the upcoming, and every year there's a Nat Turner Library Black Book Awards. And one of the elders said he had a poem that he said is called Africa is Everywhere. And so when brothers and sisters go over there and they speak a different language, but you see that brother or sister that looks like you, I always tell brothers and sisters, hey, look, it's just a language difference. That's your brother, that's your sister. And, hey, that's your brothers and sisters.
And I can't wait to go. I cannot wait to go. We're supposed to go either in July or August. We have nothing is Mr. Joseph Waker just came back in February. He went and stayed for like 2-3 weeks and got everything situated. He's working on contracts and things like that right now. And it's just amazing. It's amazing to be from where I'm from, Spartanburg, South Carolina. Shout out to Spartanburg, South Carolina. To come to D.C. and to be a part of all these phenomenal projects and things, and have the opportunity to go to Africa and see a nation being rebuilt.
Oh, that's right.
Mr. Waker attributed being in Africa like being with your brothers and sisters all day long. Like, you didn't feel like a stranger. You didn't feel like you wasn't, like you didn't belong in the country, and for so long. And when you're dealing with cases like this, for me, it was real sentimental, because it's like, here we are in this country where we were born, bred, raised, and they still hate us. And we're still not welcome in our own homeland. We might be indigenous to America, but we're still not welcome in America. You know what I'm saying? It's still not a home.
Yes, ma'am.
It's still not your home place. You still know that you belong somewhere else that you were taken away from. So,
that's right.
Yeah, I do a lot more than just scream Black Power. I am Black Power. You know what I'm
Come on.
Okay?
That's right.
I am Black Empowerment.
Yeah.
I am creating opportunities outside of the United States and a part of resources that are outside of the United States And if I wanted to take a group of gang members, all y'all need is your passport. Take these brothers to Africa, get them out there, train them up, have them go build houses or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Get them off the street. Give them something to do. I could do that. I'm in a position to do that right now. But it takes money and funding to do that. You know, it takes people that want to go do that. It takes knowledge. It takes hard work. Mr. Waker funded this foundation out of his own pocket. He sold everything he got. Everything. Cars, houses, race cars, you know. I come out of the motorcycle community. That's why I got my nickname, Bosslady. And that's how we met through the motorcycle community. We were going to build a hotel down in Myrtle Beach.
Right.
Atlantic Beach, as a matter of fact, or whatever, together. Right. And we were trying to get all the bikers together to put their money in their reach, to put your money where your mouth is. That's right. Beach every year, giving these people your money, and they don't even want you down there. You ain't down there for 1 weekend. Hello? And if we don't go every year, Myrtle Beach will die because nobody's there through the year unless it's bike week. You know what I'm saying? Don't nobody go down there. Everything is closed down now, pretty much, in South Carolina. Ma'am. But if we don't go down there for bike week, they won't even have a Myrtle Beach.
Well, Sister Janae,
they spend our money and they block the roads off.
Sister Janae, we want
to. I was sick of that.
We want to. I appreciate your spirit. I want to give you another 2 minutes to close out the show.
Okay.
And so you gave us all the particulars, how we can end. This won't be the last time we have you on. You get involved in so much, and maybe we'll have you come on again just to talk specifically about African trade.
I'm embarrassed about it. We feel like, what do you do? And I'll be like,
Oh, that's okay. Nah, but I like that spirit, and you know, we do a segment every quarter on business, black business, and I'd like to kind of have you come on again in the future. Whenever, you know, you and I will talk off air, obviously, and we'll talk about getting you back on to discuss specifically the whole reality of dealing with international trade with black businesses. The Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan, in 1995, October 16th, 1995, the day I was born. When I say the day I was born, I was talking about born spiritually. He required that all of us there, the day that we all were there, he said, you have to get involved in international trade for your people, and you are doing that, sister. So you are every bit as a Black Panther, you're every bit of the MGT, that Muslim girls training. We always believe in that, and that's why we call ourselves one people. And so we thank you for that spirit. You have any final comments? I got a minute and a half. I'm gonna let you speak to the audience. And then we're going to close out this segment and talk about next week's show.
I would just like I like to thank my chairman, the Honorable Hakeem Economic Nzinga, for letting me speak on behalf of the new Black Panther Party. He always brag on me, say, well, that there Janae, she ain't 100% dedicated. She 200% dedicated to the party.
Oh, wow.
You know?
Wow.
And I had to just, you know, it's just a part of me. I'm passionate. I'm at home. I'm not doing nothing during the day but answering the phones and being available for my brothers and my comrades. And that I'm honored to be able to just do that little bit in between my naps.
Whenever a soldier's in war, you got to have some rest. And so we thank you. We thank you. Right. We thank you, Sister Janae. We thank you, Sister Janae, for being on the Nat Turner Library Radio Show. We thank you for your participation tonight, Sister Janae.
You're quite welcome. And I'd like to give a shout out to my children right quick. Jacory,
yeah, go ahead and do that. Go ahead.
They may not be listening, but they might listen to the playback. Mommy loves you. I do have two beautiful children. They're with their fathers. They're with their parents. Look, the other parent.
All right.
So I look forward to seeing them in the summertime. They don't like living in the city, so I love living in D.C. They like living in the South. So we just let them go to school down south, and then it was too much of a change for my baby girl. So she wanted to stay with her dad. She a daddy girl. But I look forward to seeing them this summer. So the Black Power, people, Black Power, and let's get on code. Let's bring one word back, one phrase back, and it's a black thing. Remember that from the 90s? It's a black thing.
That's right. Indeed. Well, thank you, Sister Janae. And we're going to leave you as we greeted you in the words of peace. And, of course, in Arabic, we say Assalamu alaikum. And in the name of Black Power, fist to you. Thank you for your time with us, Sister Janae. Brothers and sisters, that was Queen Jani Cook, a sister who is on the front lines 24/7 for the black empowerment. We got a report from her on what's going on in North Carolina. We got some information, brothers and sisters, on what she is doing to help with this cause, and not just her, but the Black Panther Party. And, you know, for those of us in the Nation of Islam, we always talk with many, many brothers and sisters from different groups. We love the spirit of our Black Panther family. I always say that in every FOI and every MGT is a Black Panther, and in every Black Panther there's an FOI and MGT. For those who understand what I'm talking about, you just look at the history, you'll find that there's a little bit in all of these. That's why we one family. We cousins, we brothers and sisters. Race War in America, that concludes that show. But next week, brothers and sisters, we're going to switch gears a little bit. We got a sister who we had on one time before, and she had so much knowledge and information on health and holistic health education. I told her I had to get her to come back on. We have our sister Marvina Brown. Marvina Brown, yes, will be in the building next week. Next Friday, actually, on March 22nd, 8 p.m. She's going to discuss her system that she's distributing, but also what she's found in power of the pure water system to heal black conditions, diabetes, rheumatism, arthritis, fatigue, disease, diabetes, I say it again, high blood pressure, skin diseases, anything that you can think of. Sister Marvina Brown is going to tell us from her own experience. She was voted best in Gwinnett County, one of the major counties in Atlanta, as one of the best practitioners of health and services. She does skin treatment. So sisters, I know y'all love y'all beautiful black skin, but there's a sister who can talk to you about how water and other things can help you to get your skin purified. She'll be with us next week. That is right here on the Nat Turner Library Radio Show. We're going to have Sister Marvina Brown, owner and operator of the Holistic Health Educator of Bellevue Spa. That's Bellevue Spa. You want a preview? Go to her website, Bellevue Spa. That's BELLEJUSPA. That's BellevueSpa.com. Marvina Brown, next week, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. The power of pure water to heal. She's a holistic health educator. We thank Sister Janae from the new Black Panther Party. Once again, Black Panthers are part of our family, part of the Nat Turner family. Black Panthers are always going to be in the hearts of what we do here. Brothers and sisters, you are in a war. We established that, and we know that the enemy doesn't like guerrilla war. Guerrilla war means that you just got to fight with what you got. As the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan once said to us in the lead up to 10-10-15 rally, he said, resist in every way that you can. And even if the little babies have to take a rock and throw it just before they die, then let them do that. You have to resist the devil and he'll flee. That's what the Bible says. Resist the devil. Don't give in to the devil because you're scared. Resist the devil and he'll flee. Welcome to the Nat Turner Library Radio Show, brothers and sisters. Support your host, your brother, Brother Michael Muhammad. Buy my book. Go to Amazon and type in Checkmate, The War for the Black Mind, or type in Checkmate and just my name, Michael Muhammad, Muhammad. Download the ebook to your Kindle Go ahead and read the information that I studied about how the white man has subjugated our minds, and particularly the black queen. Go to KHABooks.com. Go to Amazon and also support my brother Khalifa Muhammad, chairman of the Nat Turner Library Radio Show. Download his book, FAQ, Nation of Islam, Frequently Asked Questions. People think they know what we do and what we believe, but this book is only, this ebook is only $5. Go ahead and download it. Go to EasyLightSources.org and support our sister's ebooks, Sister Nadira Khalifa. Go to black-e-books.com. Next week, brothers and sisters, we're going to talk to our sister Marvina Brown, The Power of Pure Water to Heal. March 22nd, 8 p.m., right same place, 515-605-9882. You're listening to the Nat Turner Library Radio Show. Peace and love. And I'm going to leave you as I greet you in the words of peace and paradise. How we say it in the Arabic language, brothers and sisters, Assalamu alaikum.